Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of The Artist's Wife. The Artist's Wife is a 2020 drama directed and written by Tom Dolby. Starring Lena Olin and Bruce Dern, this story tells the tale of renowned artist Richard Smithson when he is diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and how his wife Claire must face this late life crisis, as well as help in what ways she finds fit to make sure her husband meets his final showcase. So this screening was available through an AARP program, their Movies for Adults screening series, and I was certainly interested. Bruce Dern obviously is such a talent. Avan Jogia is also really talented, a nice up-and-coming actor who is in this film, and it seemed like a really interesting premise. Though I had reservations, I usually do whenever a woman is referred to as the wife or the sister or the mother in titles, particularly. However, I do think this was actually quite a nice little film. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, my biggest positive is actually Lena Olin, who I'm not all that familiar with, honestly, but I think she gives a fantastic performance as Claire, our lead, the artist's wife, if you will. She gives such an authentic and raw, really meaningful and impactful performance in this film. Moments that, due to the writing, could have been quite contrite, if you will. However, she brings this level of authenticity that connects you to the words and to the emotion being conveyed. It's really a beautiful performance. I also think Bruce Dern is fantastic in this film. He gets to be that like crotchety old man that I love Bruce Dern for, but he also gets to stretch out and show a great range of emotions, a really well-rounded character going through something as serious as Alzheimer's. And really, everybody gives a great performance here. It's not an overly large cast per se, but all of our minor roles and smaller characters deliver and bring this film to light in a way that does feel authentic and relatable to the audience. In addition, I also enjoyed Claire's journey throughout this film. The artist's wife, as the title, is certainly explained as we move throughout, and I think it's given a lot of weight in how she navigates her role in life as a professional and as a person, and it really works to what story is being told in the film. It's also just a subject matter that we could continue to explore, speaking on dementia or Alzheimer's and how that affects the person as well as those family members and loved ones around the diagnosed. It's really a hard disease on everyone involved, and this film certainly depicts that. It's a nice little slice of life type of film. Once again, Claire's journey is certainly the most rewarding part of this entire film. But going on that journey with her has this really kind of almost uplifting, satisfying feeling, and it really makes for quite an enjoyable watch. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to the artist's wife? Well, the biggest problem overall is Tom Dolby at large, I have to say. First, the direction was okay for the most part, but then we would get these really random shots or angles on the camera, and you're like, whoa. It didn't serve the story, but instead just kind of pulled you out of it for the sake of, artistry, if you will. And then we get to the script, which is an adapted screenplay, and it's just too thin. Claire gets some nice moments and gets that development. However, this film clocks in at like right at an hour and a half, and that's far too short. You could have given us 30 more minutes, and this would have improved drastically. We have all of these different storylines of this woman who is coming into her own, having this later in life type of crisis, refinding herself as a human, but also as an artist. Then we have her husband, who is an artist trying to meet a deadline to get a show off the ground, but he has just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. So, what that looks like, their dynamic together. And then we have this daughter and grandson and this male nanny they're trying to reconcile. Obviously, very estranged. And because of that, Claire's story gets pretty much the development it needs, but especially that father daughter dynamic does not get anywhere near the development it needed. We don't go through the process of healing, we don't go through the process of exploring that nearly enough to warrant the payoff I think the film really intends at the end, as well as the Alzheimer's and how that is really working on the marriage, on him as a person as well. We get little glimpses here and there as we move throughout, but I think we could have delved in deeper. And honestly, that's kind of the case across the board with this film. It touches on some great stuff, but we just could and should have gone in deeper. There was time to spare, there was room to grow and develop these great plot points, and instead, it stayed pretty surface level to keep it at a nice, enjoyable little film rather than elevate it to something greater. I also hated the score. It's not often that I notice musical scores in a negative way. Usually, when they pop out at a film, it's because they're so good and really moving and add to your experience. This score, though, got hokey, it was over the top to me, and cheapened the entire experience of the film. So, overall, The Artist's Wife is a perfectly lovely way to pass the time. It challenges you just enough, but not to the point where you get uncomfortable. It's an easy breezy type of watch. So I say give this a rental. I really think Lena in our lead performance is so fantastic that her effort and work here deserves the view. However, I don't think you need to risk it to go out to the movie theaters to see this or pay for a full price viewing of it. A standard priced rental will do just fine. So that is my review of The Artist's Wife. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on my latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Artist's Wife? Or have you even heard of this one? Let me know either in the comment section down below or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!